Today I'm going to be speaking about 4 elements for managers to look out for that can hamper employee productivity as they work from home. When employees are feeling exhausted, anxious, lonely, and stressed, this tends to get in the way for productivity. We are at a time when everything has just become new all of a sudden, and nothing seems familiar anymore. We are having employees that are exhausted due to having to balance between work and homeschooling their kids. We are also having employees that are grieving the loss of a loved one. Some employees are anxious as they battle with thoughts of uncertainty of what tomorrow will bring. If these feelings are left unchecked, they will impact negatively on productivity. We are at a time when managers need to lead with empathy. Managers should schedule check-in calls with employees just to see how things are going without necessarily discussing work tasks. This process can also address emotional and mental health issues among your staff. Secondly, there is a general failure to unplug. The boundary between work and home has become blurry. Managers actually add to this challenge by sending emails after business hours expecting a response or action to be taken. Instead, managers need to discuss acceptable working hours for each and every team member. Managers need to encourage their teams who are working from home to schedule their work activities so that they know when to switch from work mode to switch on to rest or family mode. Thirdly, the fading of team cohesion also comes in the way of productivity. This happens when the team struggles to collaborate and communicate well. An example of how team cohesion fades is the continuous virtual meetings with participants' videos switched off. The more you are visually disconnected, the more the team's bond weakens. Managers should be intentional in organizing social video conference calls and engage with their teams in fun ways. An example of such a fun way is having your team sharing photos of their workstations or newly found office mates, and in this case, it could be family members or even their pets that they are sharing their space with. Lastly, when teams are disintegrated, communication tends to suffer. An email can be interpreted wrongly, and sometimes even goals or targets can go uncommunicated. Managers need to communicate more clearly, provide feedback more regularly, and be ready to provide support. You see, when most organizations pivoted to remote working, there was just little time to train employees on how to work remotely. Employees just found themselves having to learn how to swim right in the middle of a deep sea. Unless remote workers are successfully trained on how to be effective, it is difficult for them to thrive. Hence, managers have a role to play in having their teams capacitated on how to collaborate, communicate, and connect so that they can be effective as they work remotely.